Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Oh, we're all on the right side of the room. This is awesome. Okay, victories, wins, gratitudes.
I have gratitude.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on this morning, but like my mind was going crazy at 3 a.m. I could not go back to sleep. I got here at like 5 a.m. and I just couldn't like stop thinking about finishing this year off strong and just.
Yeah.
This is my second to last prospecting day for the year.
Yeah.
And so Monday's my last day, and I'm just excited about a clean start for this next year and new decade.
Yeah.
And my biggest gratitude is on the 26th at midnight. My wife and I will be flying to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
For 12 days.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about that.
That is exciting. Wow. Definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, just 2 of us.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. And how long are you guys going for?
We'll be there for 12 days.
12 days.
Yeah. The amount of time you need to reboot your mind and just think
Absolutely.
look at life a little differently.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you for sharing that. You know, always celebrating a little bit and refueling yourself for how hard you work. It's because you forget your purpose then, right? If you're continuously working, you don't reward. I'm not saying reward, but refuel yourself and enjoy why you're doing these things. Then you work even harder, and you work even better, and you want even a better life. So thank you for bringing that up. Anyone else? Gratitude? Wins? John?
I'll let Brenda go first.
Okay.
I'm just grateful for everyone that contributed their time
I was gonna
yesterday
say.
to Bell Ring.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun, and anybody that is here that Bell Ring, send me your photos. So I've got a few, and it was fun, and it was good, and
Yeah.
it helps the Salvation Army, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
On behalf of the foundation.
Well, thank you. I love that you brought that up. I saw a few pictures actually, and you coming in and having such excitement and enthusiasm to get everyone involved in that, and everyone just stepping up. It was amazing. I saw some pictures, so thank you for doing that.
Matt, did you beat him? Well, I don't think that John or Mikey kept track, so I think I won by default at 33. At 33 for the hour that we're there.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, good.
That's good.
Good, that's
I know
awesome.
your number.
John, you didn't
Yeah.
count?
Yeah.
You were challenging him in the morning.
You got carried off having a conversation.
But I did see John counting the money. He like got in and actually. So how much money did you raise?
Really?
He's over there just
I don't
like.
think you're supposed to dig out the money.
Oh. He's over there just like thumbing bills. Thumbing bills.
He was paying tithing for it. It was
Yeah.
like 10% here. No,
Yeah. I know, that's true.
I don't know how you saw that, because I had something come up that I had to go run, save a file, and
Oh.
we are closing this morning at 9.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, Dan filled in for me, so I'm
Now we feel
very
guilty.
thankful for that.
He was $400 short to be able to close, but he found a way to get the $400.
There you go.
And now they're closing this morning.
So,
That's why he didn't have to think about it. He's like, I know.
So what I'm grateful for is all the generosity and help that I've received
Yeah.
from a lot of you. We've already raised $350
Wow. Okay, sounds great.
to feed families, and now we know who the families are.
Yeah.
They're from my wife's school in West Valley.
Wow.
One of which is a single father struggling to make the mortgage payment.
Wow.
And another one is a refugee family who they all made it here safely, all of them. For some reason, the father chose to go back. I don't know why,
Oh, okay.
but he never made back home.
Wow.
And so, these are the kind of families we'll be putting a Christmas dinner on their table.
How many families do you guys have covered now so far?
So the 350 will cover a little more than 3 families, and we have 7.
Oh wow.
How much more do you need?
I need to get it up to 600 because my wife and I are going to take care of one.
Oh,
So
that's
we
nice.
gave- hold on a second.
So we
So-
need 250.
250?
Yeah.
What if, are you sure that's all you need?
I'm sure I can find another.
How much do you need?
Get what you asked for, John. Ask.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Let-
sounds like
remember
it's
the
a
first
first
Let, yeah, let, 400.
Okay, done.
400.
Okay.
Nice.
Foundations, I'll write you a check.
Okay, awesome.
Isn't that the exact
I
amount
need
you
400
took
too.
out
That's what I
yesterday?
said. I told you John was digging into something. He's able to find money like this.
Rob's asking the right questions, so you
So-
guys just go for it.
Go, John. Your job is done today.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you for doing that, John.
Thank you, John.
I'll thank all of you guys.
That's such a nice
Seriously,
thing to do
it's
at this time.
This is what
Yeah,
enables us to be able to do this.
yeah.
Right.
So
Being in a
it's the whole
position
purpose
of
the
this time of year.
foundation is the fact
yeah.
that everyone has been doing,
help.
contributing. It allows us to be able to do stuff like this.
Yeah, I love that.
So-
And this is a time to be grateful for all of that as well, with the new decade coming, with Christmas and the holidays, and just helping everyone is so, and you know, getting those blessings. Like when somebody says, oh, well, God bless you, thank you so much for doing that. It just makes me feel so amazing. And I was like, that I have the ability to help, and so we're in a grateful place right now. Anyone else? Gratitudes, wins? Kenzie?
Guys, I have gone up early every single morning this week at 5 a.m. Well, no, I went to a class at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal for me, okay? But I was in a class the other day, and our instructor was saying something like, you know, you have a body, be grateful that you're able to use it. And I just, like at 5 a.m. it was a little hard to be grateful, especially as I'm like driving there at 4:30. But it was just such a cool way to shift my mindset.
Yeah.
And since then it's been so much easier to get there, and I enjoy the
Yeah.
exercise so much more
Yeah.
because it's a pretty big blessing that
It
all
is.
of us have.
Yeah. I love that. Honestly, like taking care of your body is your home. Consistently, right? When you get up with a little bit of passion or purpose, and once you're up, then you're up.
Mhm.
You know, they say just put your feet to the ground, right? And if you have that purpose, it's awesome, right? I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else?
Can I?
Yes,
Can
please.
you give us an update on how we do with for Rick?
Okay, so it's amazing. I actually went to go visit him yesterday, and he's so excited to get back. He's actually going home today.
Oh, wow.
But we have raised almost $400
Cool.
in the last day or so. And so I think we just need about $75 more, and then we can order his boots. And what we're going to do is we're going to order them, we're going to get them engraved crazy good on the back of the boots.
Or
Not that he
scary.
can, yeah, scary good.
Yeah.
And we're going to gift it to him here so we can see his expressions and emotion that's going to come out, because he might cry, and that's going to be awesome to see. I'm going to be very grateful for that, because he does love everyone here, and he has such a impact on everyone, and he can't wait to get back. We're like, okay, we'll just give it time in your therapy and be back. And he's like, how's it going? So he's always so excited about what's happening here. And I think that we are in good standing. I think maybe in the next couple of days we should be able to hit our goal, and then we can order them. It'll take a couple of weeks to get them in.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem. I wanted to start with, I've been dissecting my schedule, and I've been working on time blocking and doing all these things, because there's so much to be done and so much to look forward to for 2020. So I was doing my own business planning and doing things like that. So I ran across this quote that I wanted to read to you guys. Well, it's more of a, if you had $86,400 in your bank account and someone stole $10 from you, would you be upset and throw the remaining amount of $86,390 away? No, right? Okay. See, we have 86,400 seconds in each day. Don't let a negative 10 seconds ruin your entire day. You run this, please. Pay attention. Right? That really struck with me. Why? Is because we are in a communication business. We run into people all day. We talk to people all day. Do you think sometimes anyone can mess with our mindset so fast, and it can linger on for hours? Right? Yesterday, someone had called me, and the first thing they did on the phone was complain about something. And I was in a great place. So I'm like, I'm so sorry that you're feeling that way. And she's like, well, this, and she just kept going on for a minute. And I just like, okay, relax. I'm like talking to myself, because what someone else can affect your mindset and your environment is so powerful, and they can. The most valuable thing we have for ourselves is time. It's priceless. And how we carry someone else's burden and their energy, it's absurd, right? That we do that. Because it's not your energy, it's not the way you think. But it's up to you how to react to that and how to diffuse that. For me, that was powerful. I was reading that yesterday and I just came across it, and it's true. One conversation of someone being happy or someone being grateful or someone complaining about something can really ruin your element for the next hour, 2 hours. But it's up to us not to carry that over. So that's something that hit home to me. And I wanted to go through everything, even like on base camp, George has been talking about mindset and how you visualize it. And I wanted, when you go to get a job, do we do better with direction? We can all,
Yes.
we do better when we're told direction, right? Or we're, hey, you should do this, or you should be like this. When we go to get a job, we are given obligations, we're given expectations, and we're given a time frame to do everything in. Right? You're actually told what to do, when you can take your breaks, when you can take your lunch, and when you get to go home.
And you say we're better than that? Or are you
No,
saying direction? If we have direction.
If we
we're
have
better.
direction, when someone says, when you're just going through life and you don't have any direction, you can't manage that, right? When you get a job, when you go to get a job and you say, okay, you are going to work from 8 to 5, and you have these many breaks, and this is your performance, and this is your evaluation, and this is when you get to go home, you know what you're supposed to do, right? You're being told this is what you do, and this is the value that I'm putting on your 8 to 10 hours that you are giving me, right? So someone is paying you in order for your time and how much value they're setting on you. When we have direction for someone and we're forced to do that, we do that. So how come we don't do that in our own business? I was dissecting my own schedule, and everyone's guilty of it. You steer off of it and you're not able to do this. Let's go through our foundation real quick. What's the number one thing that we start with? Purpose. What's next?
Plan, goal.
I was going through this yesterday, and it's like we tell ourselves a story. The number one thing we need to know is why, and the main thing is the purpose why you're doing something. Because if you don't have that, nothing else gets aligned. If you don't visualize something, why you're going to do something, and it's like a story. You got to kind of think, if you are going to a destination, this is your destination, the purpose and the why and your desire of reaching somewhere. But what do you have to do next in order to reach your destination, right? It's the plan that you make. What time am I going to leave? What route am I going to take? And my goal is to reach there by a certain time, and this is what I have to do to get there. What's next? In order for you to get here and make your plan, what's next? If you tell yourself the story, you don't forget.
Discipline.
It's the discipline of following it. I was making my schedule yesterday, and it consists of all of these things, because you can do all of this, but if you don't know why you're doing this, then the schedule is just blah. Like, I don't know what to put in my schedule because I don't know where I'm going. Today we're supposed to be objection handling. Why am I going through this now? Because 2020 is upon us. Like Lindsay talked about the equities that you put into your business plan. You need to know where you're going, how much you're making, specific, right? This is so important, because if you don't have a foundation, all of these other things and the skill sets and the schedule and everything that we're trying to do, they're just out there. You have no direction in where you want to go. What's next, guys?
Mindset.
Of course, this is the most powerful right there.
Skills.
Tools and systems.
And last but not least is the systems. tools and the strategies that we put into place. If we're going to talk about schedule, which is really important, and what consists of our schedule in order to get our purpose, like, you don't forget this if you tell yourself a story. For me, I think of that as long road, and at the end, like, I want to go to Paris, right? So just an example. Or like just a place of happiness. If you build a road at the end, and here's your destination, in order to start going on a road, you need to know where you're going. And I tell myself a story because then I don't forget this at all. And this is what I learned when I first came to the company. And I remember Rob was the one that started to make me think outside of my box. Like, okay, money, but what else? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? There is always a reason for everything. When you tell yourself a story and you get into a car, you still need to know when you want to get into the car, what time you need to get in the car, what is your commute, what are the obstacles in the way. That's the only way you'll be able to reach your destination. So for me, the purpose is up here, right? Your goal, schedule is down here, right? On your plans. But the main thing is down here is your mindset, is to create all of these things. Yesterday I was dissecting my plan, and your schedule is the most important thing. So I want us to think about 2020 and think about how do all these things fit in. If we go about our schedule on a daily basis, for us to be successful, for us to employ ourselves, looking at time as being the most valuable thing, what should our schedule consist of? Let's point out the 5 most important key elements that need to go in your schedule. They don't have to be in specific order. Everyone has their own life. Everyone looks at it, but the things that are so important, if you look at this and you kind of visualize a picture, in order to get here first, you can only do your schedule if you know, okay, I want to achieve this goal, but why do I want to achieve this goal? Because I want to buy a house, because I want my kids to go to better schools, I need to move, or I want to take trips, right? You plan, you work extra hard. Yesterday, I was sitting down, just an example, with Tim, and he just took a trip, but his wife, I think I brought this up before, and he said that, yeah, you pushed me in order to take another trip. He's like, yeah, and you told me that I can do one more transaction in a year. Why not? It's because if you don't reward yourself, you don't know your purpose and why you're doing these things. That's why I say I love it that you're taking a trip right now. And everyone that's going on a trip or spending time with family, or families coming in, that's a purpose for you. That's a why. You work so hard, but if you don't reward yourself and you don't realize what is the main reason that you are doing these things, you don't push yourself even harder because you don't know what can be there for you. Better your life. Have a better goal. So let's start with the number one thing that you should have in your schedule to make it effective. Like, we're talking about business plans, and we're talking about 2020, and we are welcoming a new decade. If we don't have our schedule, if you go to get a job, they give you your schedule. So how are you going to hire yourself for 2020?
Prospect lead generation.
Yeah.
Set an appointment.
Talk to people.
Prospect, okay. That's the number one thing we do, right? Second is, in order to prospect, what do we need to do first? Create a good mindset, right?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, I thought you were going to do skills, but I was going to say mindset.
We start.
I'm going to have to correct you on that one.
Yeah. Think about what we're doing first, you know? Actually, mindset should be first, because
Sure.
this is what we get up in the morning. So let's change this up, okay? I want us to start
I would agree.
really focus on our schedules, because like you brought it up, we only have a few more days to prospect for January, for the decade, to fill up our pipeline, to get things going. We
Can
start
I
with our
comment
mindset.
about that, Ruby?
Yes.
So mindset, obviously, I just want to say this out loud. I mean, there's a lot of people that'll get on the phones, which is good, right? Sometimes you just need to show up, but
Yeah.
if your mindset's not right, it's not the most productive use of your
Absolutely.
time, right? So some
Absolutely.
people would say, like, until you get your mind right, just don't even bother making a call.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
So it's just you have to take that with a grain of salt, because some people just have a bad mindset because they're not being
Yeah.
successful and they just need to go through the motions to make it. But if you know your mindset's crap, you need to just take a moment, regroup,
Absolutely.
get your mindset right, and then get back on the phones.
And what do we do for our mindset? Like examples in the morning. Like what does everyone do to get into a better mindset? First of all, everyone's here. So we're talking, we're doing affirmations,
Ascent,
we're
yeah.
excited, right? So we have morning Ascent. Are you going to fit this in your schedule? It's on our business plans. Do you do that? Do you meditate? Are you exercising?
Yeah.
What else?
Read, listen, journal.
Listen to motivation, right? Motivation. What else?
For me, it's really important if I have time for writing down my problems and solutions. So a lot of times it's just something wrong with my thinking, and I'll write down
Right.
what's the problem,
Right.
what's a lie, what's the solution.
Right, gratitudes,
Yeah.
problems, solutions. Why do we write gratitudes? That's like the number one most important thing, is because life's a challenge. If we don't write our gratitudes, we don't know what we're actually thankful for. If we don't have to sit and think about it, when you sit and think, sometimes I start writing and I have to think, isn't that awful? That I have to think, oh my gosh, what am I grateful for? That's the worst thing that you can possibly do, that you don't know right off the bat what you're thankful for. But then once I start thinking, I'm like, oh wow, this and this and this. I don't actually have one journal, I have two. I have one at my bedside, and I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for throughout the day. Not just in life, but throughout the day. I had a great conversation, I had a great laugh. I talked to you yesterday. What I learned from Rob, I'm like, oh, I learned something new today. Isn't that something great that we're able to learn? If you write down 10 things that you have learned and you're thankful for at night before you go to bed, you sleep much better, just to let you know. That works for me. What else, you guys? That creates a better mindset.
Who you associate with.
Who you associate with.
And on that note about writing gratitudes,
Yes.
I've always learned you cannot be fearful and grateful at the same time.
I love that,
So
yeah.
if ever you start getting afraid
Yeah.
or anxious,
Yeah.
just take a minute and stop and
Write it down.
get grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always look at the glass half empty, or you can look at it half full. At this time of year, I'm going to be very honest and vulnerable up here right now. I've lost a lot in the last 4 years. My house right now is very quiet. And because of Dad just passing away, and I'm just looking, okay, what can I do to change my environment? What can I do to, shape this up a little bit? Like I'll joke a little, or watch something funny. I will not watch depressing news. My mom starts quoting things on Facebook, and I'm like, can you please stop listening to statements on Facebook and start reading quotes? I said, how about you look at something funny, watch something funny, call your friends, reach out to all the relatives, and just say happy holidays. And she's like, okay. So I try to change that environment. And once I start talking, they're like, oh no, here she goes. Okay. Next, honestly, what do we do next? We have our mindset. Prospect. But before we prospect, we role play, right? We practice. This is important to put in your schedule, guys. Honestly, like time blocking. You guys come in at 7 a.m. I love it. It gets me going. So this is something that I put to my schedule, because I'm learning every day and I'm getting better, and my skill sets are getting better because I am here practicing, role playing, creating my mindset. Next is practice, role play. It gets you in what? It gets you in a different zone in order to prospect, right? What else can you add to this? We have our role play, we have our scripts, right?
Bacon and eggs.
That too, definitely eat.
Oh,
That goes into
sure.
that goes into taking care of yourself first.
Yeah, okay.
I almost
Got it out of the way.
come this morning.
Next, prospecting, right? Guys, if you look at your schedule, and are you working at least 8 hours a day? 8 hours? Maybe 10? Hopefully 12, 10, just kidding, not more than that. But if you are working for that long, how many hours are you prospecting? Prospecting, it feeds our business. It's like planting a seed, right? It can't grow unless you nourish it. And yes, Matt.
So I just want to say something about like the timing though. It's like 8 hours. I hear this all the time. It's like, oh, you gotta work Saturdays. You gotta work 10-hour, 12-hour days. And there's a lot of people that are here all day long. They don't get anything done.
That's true.
So
Absolutely.
So I would challenge that. That just like actually doesn't matter as much how long you're here at the office.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you actually get done?
Absolutely.
And how productive were you? Like,
How productive are you?
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you're able to make your schedule, if you don't have a schedule and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, it's not gonna get done. And if you don't time block and you don't say, I'm gonna be the most efficient in these 2 hours because this is what I have to do. Now goes back to if you're hired on, let's say if you are you're the CEO and you're hiring an agent and he's gonna come in and he's not gonna do anything or she's not gonna do anything all day, are you gonna keep that person hired?
No.
You're a CEO. You're sitting across from the desk, so put yourself across from the desk.
Yeah.
And say, are you going to do these things? Yes, John.
So I heard this analogy: if you own a basketball team or any sports franchise,
Right.
your players are your most valuable asset, and you're gonna make sure your VIP or just all your players are in general are getting the outlet they need outside of work.
Absolutely.
Whether it's family time
Mhm.
or and so yeah, we can spend a lot of time here in the office.
Yeah.
And when I first joined here, I was spending over 12-hour days here.
Yeah.
And like Matt mentioned, I wasn't getting much done.
Right.
But then
Having to do better to do.
but then I found something that reinvigorated me, which was a girlfriend, and I was spending far less time here and doing far more business
Yeah.
because I was investing investing in myself.
Right.
We absolutely need to do that. If we have a hobby or something we really enjoy, we'll say, dang, I gotta get things done so I can go basket
Yeah.
weave or bowl or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
That'd be
anything.
very fast.
Any activities that you want to do, right? The reward, the purpose, the desires, you can only meet those if you do all of these things. You
Right.
have to say, okay, I'm creating a new job for myself and it's starting in January. And you have to be so consistent. I'm guilty of it. I waver from it because I don't know how to say no sometimes. And then that's it. It lingers on, and what ends up happening is I end up working long hours. And yesterday I was prospecting after hours, and it was awful. And I did not want to do that, okay? So, but it happens. Things do waver. You're prospecting, but the biggest thing after prospecting is what? This must be in your schedule, right? Follow-up, and lead follow-up is just, if you don't, it's like you're working for free. You're working for no reason if you don't follow up. People that go door knocking, I have one agent, she got a good listing off of it, which is amazing because she did her follow-up, but she wasn't doing that consistently. We met over and over again, and she loves door knocking. I said, are you following up with them? A no means not today. A no means not right now. We're not selling Windex, okay? We're selling a service. We're selling dreams. We're honestly, what is your purpose? Do you want to move? It's a house. We're selling ourselves. If they know that your intention is to help them, they're gonna want to work with you, but it's in the lead follow-up. Like, give it your all. It's almost so more important than prospecting. If you're prospecting, you have those leads, but you don't follow up with them and you're not consistent, you're not going to be in front of their eyes and they will forget you like that. And so that's just the most important thing to put in your schedule there. And then you do your emails, you do your follow-ups, these are productive things, but they're non-productive. Okay, because the most productive thing that you can do is taking listings and putting things under contract. That's more productive, but this is non-productive but very important, right? The emails, the follow-ups, the contacts, follow-up on contacts. And I'm talking about your team, like mortgage, lending, title, everything else. What else can go into your schedule that's really important?
Attending appointments.
Attending appointments, right? And most of all, practice presentation. For me, this is really important. Have you ever, who records themselves in here? I've done that before, and I'm just like, whoa, I can talk really fast. And I'm trying to work on that. It's so impressive how you come across in your body language and the way you smile and the way you use your hands. Like, I use my hands so much in a video where I'm like, okay, should I keep doing that? I might scare somebody someday, but honestly, like, when you're in front of somebody, your body language comes across more than your words. It's always said, right? Your actions speak louder than words. Yes?
So I think when we record like we have this idea in our head how we are.
Yeah.
When we record ourselves, we are not that person. Like I am.
Right.
I'm in my head. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking
Yes.
slow. I'm like, my hands are here. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll look back and watch it and be like, yeah, I wouldn't hire me either.
Yeah.
So it's good to record yourself so you can see what everyone else is seeing.
It is, honestly. And then you know what? You being a professional, you being your own business owner, always look when you're learning something or doing something or prospecting, would you want your agent to do that for you? Or not to do that for you? Like, if you're unprepared, would you want your agent to be unprepared? No. Would you want your agent to be late? No. Would you want them to be dressed professionally? Of course. But would you hire them? Would you hire yourself? I always like, put a mirror in front of you, and I'm talking about actions, I'm talking about the way you look, the way you present, the way you speak. Would you hire yourself? If you actually have to cringe even a little bit, like, no, that means there's improvements to be made. And we learn every day. So I'm just saying, for 2020, I was looking at my schedule, and this is the most important thing. If you don't have a schedule, you're doing a job, and you're doing yourself a disservice every single day. You're wasting the most valuable thing that we have, and that is time. And so, who has already done their business plans for next year? Most of us? Awesome. That's great. I've been working on it. I'm a little late. I was supposed to have it done at the beginning of December, so that's another thing. But I'm working on my schedule now and working on my plans for 2020, and it's consisting of all of these things. But you end up wavering as it is, but if you don't have a schedule in place, then it becomes even easier, and then it's chaos. And so let's work on our business plans, and let's put all of these things in there to be successful every day. Yesterday I wasn't able to do these, so now I have to do these today. Like, I'm going to be struggling on that, but this is what I'm working on, and I bring this up because I'm improving on it every day, and I'm tweaking it so I can get better and better. Like, I do accountabilities, and I come down to the second floor, and I see everyone prospecting. I'm like, yes. See, I didn't prospect till later, and I ended up working till like 7:30, and I was organizing my stuff, and I'm like, this is not proper. So it was frustrating to me. That's why this is so important. I was doing my business plans also, and all these things. This is so important. The mindset that's driving, but the schedule is the next, I would say, the most important thing. If you don't know what to do, when to do it, it can't get done. So anyways, let's have a great weekend. We have 4 more days to prospect. No, 3. We have got Monday. We have half of Tuesday.
Well,
No.
we have today.
We have today. We have Monday. We have next Friday. And then there you go.
We have Thursday.
Okay.
Well,
Thursday.
Saturday.
So does everyone...
Yeah.
Yeah, so prospect and prepare your
Christmas
January.
Day, baby.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Yes.
That's done on Monday.
Yes,
Yep,
it
that's the
does.
prospect today. Every week's accountability.
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow.
Okay, closing affirmations. Let's go. Let's succeed because the absolute close. I'm optimist. I like talking to people.
I know the word to be
I'm passionate about mounting. I know this is in my parents' school. I like listening. My thoughts and my minds actual. I focus on my GPA. My presentation far from wisdom. I improve my skills daily. I'm happy. I love the prospect. Keep my business. I think my future is awesome. I love my life. I'm grateful, thankful. I control my secrets. I believe in me.
So.